Good morning, friends. This day here on part 3 of bearing fruit, and I'm here today with Cheryl. And Cheryl, it's so nice to be here with you today. We're standing here next to Cheryl's apple tree. Now, Cheryl, can you tell us how this apple tree came about? How did it happen that we are able to stand next to this apple tree this morning?
Well, first of all, this was our first bought an apple at, I can't remember if it was at Checkers or wherever. I think it's the Pink Lady, if I'm not mistaken. And then I cut it up and I left the pips one side. And this is the result of the tree. This is at least about, say, 5 years old. And this is the first time that it's actually bearing fruit. I've waited quite a while and I'm very, very happy. I've actually got 5 apples, and as you can see, all the flowers, so obviously I'll be having more fruit. And yeah, that is how this all came about.
Yeah, and so you can see there's already on this tree, there's 3 beautiful apples already growing. And what Cheryl is doing, it's not only just the apple tree, she's got gooseberries, she's got a pawpaw tree that you planted from pips. And after 7 years, this pawpaw tree grew and you already harvested some pawpaws from this. But the amazing thing is, Cheryl, as you plant these trees, as you've planted this apple tree just from a little pip, what amazes me is just the expectation of fruit. And you had to be patient.
Yes, of course.
You cannot plant this apple pit on the Monday and expect some fruit on a Tuesday. But was there an excitement in your heart as a gardener? How did you feel in your heart expecting this fruit to come? You never planted the pip not expecting a tree to grow. And when you expect a tree to grow, did you expect it to have fruit, to have apples?
No, but you know what? Every morning I come visit all my babies. Every morning I check, are you growing? Are you fine? I speak to them as well.
Yeah.
Every morning I check on all the trees. No lice, no nothing. And I mean, I'm so proud of myself. I can't believe, because I didn't think that I had green fingers.
Yeah.
And now I mean, it just, yes.
Yeah. And so, friends, we are in John chapter 15. And Jesus gives this promise. He says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. And there's the promise. Like we said in day 1, we need to remain in Jesus. So the important things about John chapter 15 is remain in Jesus, we embrace pruning, and today the third thing is we need to expect fruit. There's a promise. Jesus said there will be fruit. We need to expect fruit. And He is the great gardener, and He will make sure that we will expect fruit. But later on in chapter 15, we read Jesus said in verse 16, you did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you to go and bear much fruit. So it's God's desire and will that we will bear much fruit, and fruit that will last. Yes, the fruit on this fruit tree, these apples will not last, because when they're ripe, Cheryl will pick them and they will enjoy it and they will eat it or give it away to people. But Jesus said our fruit is fruit that will last. And we saw in chapter 15, fruit is about loving one another. Jesus said a part of bearing fruit is when we obey His commandments. And He says in chapter 15, my commandment is that you will love one another, and that we will go and tell others about Jesus Christ. And so, friends, when Jesus said, I chose you, you did not choose me, to go and bear fruit that will love one another. This is my command, love each other. And right after that, soon after that, Jesus went to the cross to lay down His life for us. And so in that, I think the key for me is that the only fruit that will really last is fruit that grow on the cross of Jesus Christ. As we follow Jesus, lay down our lives, pick up our cross, follow after Jesus, and love one another. And Cheryl, I'm so excited, and it was such a great privilege to be with you and just to see your faith and your courage and your nurturing and your care for these fruit trees. And it reminds us of our Heavenly Father that's the true, real gardener, that's planting us where He wants us to be, and a promise that if we remain in Jesus, we will bear much fruit. And that fruit bearing will be for the glory of God. The same way that this fruit bearing will be for the excitement and the enjoyment of Cheryl and friends and family. The fruit that you and I will bear will be for the glory of our Heavenly Father. So, John 15 tells you and me, let us remain in Jesus. Let us embrace pruning, that our Father will prune us for the purpose of bearing more fruit. And let us expect fruit to grow for His glory and honor. May you have a blessed day.